together. Can you believe that?
Yes. Welcome to If These Walls Could Talk with your hosts,
Wendy Stuart
and Tym Moss.
And thank you all for being with us on this another Windy Wednesday.
Yes, absolutely.
With Wendy and Tym.
Pinch. You're real. I'm real. We're here together
oh my
for
God.
First time in a long time.
This is like, it's so weird, right?
Yeah.
It's this whole virtual thing, and then you see people in the flesh. And I have a live audition tomorrow.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I was like so
Good.
excited. I wrote back to the agent. Oh, what's that?
Oh,
I
good,
like
good,
live.
good.
Like
Me
I'm going to be
too.
in person.
I cannot deal with another.
Oh my God!
Recorded video audition.
We are right. We are totally zoomed out. Well, you know what? We just had the best time on Friday night.
Oh,
Randy Edelman, the composer, so many of the movies that you've seen, he has scored.
Mm-hmm.
What are Last of the Mohicans?
My cousin Vinny.
My cousin Vinny. And when you hear him play, it takes you back. And he was at Chelsea Table. We were there to celebrate the amazing photographer, the one and only Billy Hess. Everybody loves Billy.
Yeah, he's our good friend, and it was his birthday. We were celebrating.
He's absolutely such a great guy, amazing photographer. And, you know, again, it's so cool to be out with your friends and be able to see people. We had a wonderful after party. And, I have to tell you this. I'm so excited. You know, the Imperial Court has Night of 1,000 Gowns, April 1st.
Yes, April 1st.
We are sold out.
All right.
Although I always tell people never say never. If you really want to go, you know, you can beg. We'll find a way. But I got the most fabulous dress from B&B Couture. And all I'll tell you is it's covered in mirrors. I can fix my lipstick and eyeliner all night long.
Just by looking at your lap.
Don't cry. Oh my God, we're so lazy. But it's like gold. It's going to be totally.
Oh God, I can't wait to see it.
Amazing. Oh, shout out here. You know, we broadcast from PANGEA this Saturday night. The fabulous Jeffrey Vouse is going to be here. His show is about growing up in Hawaii. What's his show called again? Hawaii. Maybe Hawaii. He's going to kill me. I mess up names, and you guys all forgive me for that. But it's Jeffrey Vouse this Saturday at 7:00, and then he's here again April 6th. Steve, Thursday. Steve, what's the name of his show? Steve owns PANGEA. So, what is it? So I'll get you the name, but it's Thursday at 7:00. That's this Thursday. And then it's going to be April 6th again. So please make sure you catch him.
I'm coming, or I'll be at PANGEA Friday night for Jana's.
Oh, Jana. What is her? What is
I can't think of her last name. Jana. There I go with my names. On PANGEA on Friday at 9:30.
Steve, we need memory prompts here. We can't.
We need cue cards.
Jana Perry. Yes.
Thank you, Jana Perry.
Woman Enough for You.
Oh my
Is
God,
that the
you
name
are
of it?
good.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's all coming back to you.
Jeez.
But go ahead.
And then, I have to share this with everybody. I like to share my extraordinary life experiences. This Monday night at the Explorers Club, we had an incredible speaker from Madagascar, and he represents the Peregrine Foundation. They save birds of prey all over the world. He came from Madagascar, but they had people there from the New York area that actually had 4 birds of prey, and they had a Eurasian owl, like the one that's lost in Central. Well, he's not lost. He's living in Central Park, and he's dining on rats. And you know what? He's happy not to be in a damn cage anymore.
Right. Exactly.
His name's Flacco. He is a Eurasian owl. They brought a Eurasian owl, and we're sitting in the lecture, and the husband gets at one end of the room. The wife gets at the other. They're wildlife rehabilitators and they're educators. And they whistle, and the bird takes off. He flies around the room. Well, on his way back, right over my head, I could feel those talons. You could feel the talons like grazing your head. You can't let yourself think about it.
Right.
But then I thought, how cool would it be if he landed on my head?
Yeah, and that somehow would not surprise me.
No, it wouldn't surprise it. I had a bird. Or is that a bird on your head? Are you happy to see me?
No, last week, Robert Gould. He wrote Little House on the Ferry. He was in town. And so we had dinner and went out to see Some Like It Hot on Broadway. I highly recommend. I did not know what to expect when I walked in there, but it was just an old fashioned feel good Broadway show. It was like a real Broadway show. It was absolutely wonderful. I really enjoyed that
What
show.
what made it, like, because I know you see more Broadway, of course, than I do. What made it so great for you, Tim? What did you?
Well, again, it was a musical. It was just fun, dancing, the movement, the story, all of
the
that.
whole thing
It was almost like a vaudeville, a touch of vaudeville in there.
Oh, I love
And
that.
it
right.
just had so
Broadway.
many different elements to it that it was very fun.
Broadway as it used to be.
Absolutely,
Right,
absolutely.
Broadway as it used to be.
And let me see. Friday night we were all at
Billy
Chelsea,
Hess, right? Chelsea
for Billy
Peters.
Hess and Randy Edwin. Sunday I went down to the LGBT Center because
Oh,
the
my
Proud
goodness.
Boys were staging a protest against Drag Queen Story Hour.
Story Hour. Can you
And
imagine?
so lots of us, including our producer Chauncey Dandridge,
Yay!
who I got to hang out with in person, which was fun.
And it's his birthday.
Yes, today is
Yay!
his birthday. Happy
Chauncey's
birthday,
like,
Chauncey.
Happy birthday,
Yay!
Chauncey.
And Kathy Moreno Thomas and her wife Sheila, and oh my God, Jay Walker, and just
Thank you for
everybody. It
being
was
there.
it was we far outnumbered the Proud Boys and the few people that were there to protest it.
To protest Story Hour.
Right.
I'm like,
Well,
oh.
the way I see things was Drag Queen Story Hour is promoting reading literacy.
Right.
It's getting the kids interested
And
in
fun.
storytelling and enjoyment and
Right.
all of this. That's what the drag queens are doing. What are these people that are across the street in the Proud Boys doing for the kids?
Well, and it's an
Question.
attack on community. That's what
Absolutely,
it is. Right.
absolutely.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, and it seems like I did something else and I can't remember what it
It'll
was.
come to
But
me
yeah.
in the middle of the broadcast or wake you up at 2:00 in the morning. You won't
Yes,
be able
exactly.
to go
And I
back
will
to
spring
sleep.
up and
Yay.
that will happen. So yay.
Well,
So we had a wonderful week. But thank you everyone for tuning into If These Walls Could Talk with your hosts Wendy Stuart and Tym Moss. And we will be right back with our fabulous and wonderful guest. Oh, I just love this woman.
I love her too.
Sue Phillips.
Yay. Okay, I have to, before I give Sue Phillips her fabulous introduction, because she's fabulous, Tim and I went on a field trip.
Last Friday
we went on a field trip. Sue had invited us to her fragrance bar. Now, the only bars I know are the ones I go in, gay bars, drag
That
bars,
sell cocktails.
yeah, cocktail bars, craft bars. So fragrance bar, what could that be? We had the unique opportunity to create our own scent, with Sue
Yes.
having us test
And
what we responded to.
Yes, it was actually at Sue Phillips Fashion Boutique.
Yes, which
over-
is on 80th Street, right off of
Off
Madison,
of Madison, between
Avenue.
Madison and Fifth.
But what do you need? You know, with all the experiences, we never,
Unlike anything I've ever experienced. It was
really and
incredible.
her dedication, her knowledge. I was just completely blown away by all of these different scents. And what I responded to, of course, I love florals, and I read true on that. And you were earthy,
Well, I found out I was
spicy or-
woodsy with a little touch of musk.
You know, Tim is woodsy with a little touch of musk. So there you have it. So without further ado, I would like you to meet our amazing guest today. She is an author. She is a speaker. She is a perfume creator. And in her own words, fragrance is the signature of the soul. And here she is,
Hello.
Sue Phillips. Thank
Just a
you
little more.
so much
sorry.
for being here today. Okay,
And
we're
you
all
forgot
in.
absolutely gorgeous.
Yes,
you.
and she's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you know what? You would believe anything that she told you, because she just, it was such a unique experience
Oh,
for
it
us. I've
was.
never
I'm
done
so
anything like
happy
that.
you guys came. It was so lovely to see
Oh,
you.
that it was.
Well, lovely
That was
to
so
be
lovely.
there.
It's always so lovely to see you. But
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that was such a unique experience.
So, Sue, you know, before your history, first of all, really blew me away, how you came to the States and all of that. But I wanted just a little overview. What is it about creating scents, unique scents for people, that speaks to you?
I think the whole thing about creating scents is that if it really reflects your individuality and your
Mhm.
personality, then you feel confident, you feel sexy, you feel sensual. You know, why wear what everybody else wears when you can really create your own?
Right.
And when you wear your woodsy and musky,
Yeah,
you are
Woodsy.
unique. You know,
Yes.
you are unique. So your
I have it
fragrance.
on.
Oh, is that nice?
I know it's very neat.
And
Love it.
and it really does reflect who you are. So the idea of having a customized or bespoke fragrance is really something that will help people feel themselves,
Mhm.
confident,
Yeah.
Sexy, sensual, uplifted. And, when you feel that way, you put on something and you go out and you just say, nothing can phase me. And I think that's important.
It's a real positive.
Yes,
and
yes.
Mhm.
even I just spritzed myself again, but I spritzed myself before I left my house. And I'm a person like, when you're on the subway and things like that, I like to smell something really,
Mhm.
really pretty. And there
Oh,
you
that's
go.
so
Let me
beautiful.
reach over here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
And they're
so
so
gorgeous.
different. And they're
Right.
so yours
Mhm.
really reflects who you are, and yours really reflects who you are.
Mhm.
And when I wear my fragrance, people literally stop me in the street and say,
Do
"What
they-
are you wearing?" And I say,
Mhm.
"It's me. It's mine." No, but what's the name? It's me. It's
Right.
mine.
It's Sue Phillips. I never, with all the talking that we did and the different scents that we experienced, I never thought to ask you what your combinations are.
Mhm.
Well, now they changed, because when I first started, I really was very diligent about wearing my own fragrance. But
Mhm.
now, what happens is I just wear whatever I have, and whatever I have, of my own fragrances. Because sometimes I'll have a little bit of this left and a little bit of that left. I did a fabulous Valentine's Day event in Chicago at the Perfume Passage, and I made this really amazing combination based on all the fragrances that we had tried for the first course, second course, third course, and dessert.
Oh,
That's genius.
Oh.
Wait, it was a fragrance pairing.
Yes,
like you would
exactly.
do it. That is genius.
And I called it Sip, Snip, and Savor. So every course had a fragrance.
Sip, sniff, and
And
savor.
savor.
Love it.
It was a beautiful, fantastic event in Chicago at the Perfume Passage. And I had a little bit of the formula left. So, of course, I didn't want to waste anything, because the ingredients are really expensive and they're really high
Mhm.
quality. So I had a little bit left, and I filled my atomizer with it. And so I wear that. And people say, "Oh my God, what are you wearing?" Every time I wear a fragrance, no matter if it's my formula or something that I've had left over from something, people always say, "Sue, you smell wonderful." Now, either they're just doing that to, pacify me, or
It's Sue. We'll tell her she smells good.
exactly, or because they are really bowled over by the fragrance
Absolutely.
quality. So no matter what I try and what I wear, the fragrance ingredients are what really makes a
love it.
difference.
Mhm.
And there's no headaches, no allergies, and the quality really comes right through.
Mhm. So would you say you're more floral?
Yes.
Or more,
Yeah, you seem
I'm-
but you can also be like a modern
I'm
too.
floral, woodsy, and
Yeah.
chypre, with a hint of
Ooh.
leather and patchouli, and very bold,
Ooh.
and very rub- and
Very
very.
bold.
And I have to say, I hate to say, it's a sexy fragrance.
Uh-huh.
A chypre is a beautiful combination of leather, patchouli, honey, some oak moss notes, and it's bold. And when I close my eyes, I see a dark green sort of forest. And by mixing that with the florals and the woodsy notes and a
Ooh.
little hint of vanilla,
Mm.
it's mesmerizing.
Oh my God, Tim
Uh-huh.
and I are getting off on this fantasy.
Yes.
This handsome man
On this
Yes.
on a horse in a field. Oh my God.
Now, how did you? When did you discover that you had this talent for fragrance or aroma?
Well, I'd always loved fragrance. As a little girl, of course, what little girl doesn't
Uh-huh.
love fragrance?
Right.
But I really started my sensory and fragrance journey quite
Sensory
by
journey.
accident.
Mm-hmm.
I am from South Africa. You hear my accent. And I came to basically be a singer and an actress in New York. I went to see
There
an
you go.
immigration attorney. He said, "Forget it. We have 23,000 out of work
At least
singers
he
and
was
actors."
honest,
And he said, "Forget it." But he said, I have a friend who's looking for somebody, and maybe he can help you. I went to see the friend. I told him my story. He said the same thing, but he said, "I'm looking for somebody. What else did you do?" And I said, "Well, my mother always said, if you're going to be in theater, have something to fall back on."
Oh, your mother was a wise lady.
And I did. So I had done a secretarial course. So this guy says to me, "Well, were you any good?" And by the way he asked the question, I knew that was my ticket into America. I said,
Mm-hmm.
"Yes, I was great." He said, "Well, can you start next week? I'd like an executive assistant." I said, "Well, I've never done this. I haven't done it for years. But as a true sort of entrepreneur and very resilient, I found a way to get into a school. I brushed up my skills.
Is it like Catherine Gibbs?
Something
What did I
like
see?
that.
A secretarial
And
school.
this is when there was shorthand and typing, and nobody
Yeah.
does shorthand.
Uh-huh.
So he said to me, "I'll process your green card. You work with me for a year." I worked with him for 7 months, got my green card. A year to the day, I had my week's vacation. I went to another headhunter. I got 3 job offers in 1 week. One was to work in fashion. At that time, I didn't think I was fashion forward because we were from
Oh my
South Africa.
God.
We didn't know anything.
Wow.
But now,
This, I was
She's
gonna
so
say,
forward. We feel
chic
backwards.
and-
you see what you learn in America
You
after
do.
a long
Yes.
time.
Right.
And one was to work in a bank. That certainly wasn't for
Yeah,
me.
that would
Yeah.
be.
But the third one was to work at Elizabeth Arden.
Yes.
And I thought that there was such a correlation between theater and
perfect.
cosmetics.
Yeah.
And so because I got the job, and because I was a performer and a singer and an actress, I used to go singing and acting at night. And they promoted me to national training director. So that was my real start.
So
in
they knew
fragrance
how to
training.
use
So
your
you were-
skill set
Yes.
already.
But you were exposed to the Elizabeth Arden fragrance
Yes.
line.
the
Uh-huh.
fine fragrance division of Chloe, Lagerfeld, and
Right.
ultimately Burberry. And
Oh wow.
so those Chloe and Lagerfeld were licensed by Karl Lagerfeld to
Right.
Elizabeth Arden. So I would go to Paris. I'd meet with Carl, and the
I love it. I
stories-
meet with
Yeah.
Carl.
I
She
just
just
kinda
throws
tossed it
that
away.
out there.
Actually, this
Carl is such an icon.
This is a Karl Lagerfeld jacket
God bless.
mixed with my Chanel pin.
Oh my God.
Not that I'm throwing out names, but those were really quality.
Right.
Absolutely.
And Carl is an icon.
He
Absolutely.
was so funny.
I have to tell you, my first survival job was working for Chloe,
Yes.
spraying on the floor in Bloomingdale's. I remember.
I probably trained you.
Which you maybe you did. There was
Mhm.
something about, would you like a spray of Chloe? Would you like a spray of Chloe? And everyone would walk past me because you know how annoying perfume sprayers are
Absolutely.
to people. Well, this very handsome man in a suit came over to me. He said, "I would love a spray." And I go to take my Chloe and I'm like, "Oh, let me have your wrist." He walks behind my counter. He unzips his fly.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that was my Christmas
my
job.
Welcome
And I
to New
quit.
York.
I quit. Right. I quit the next day. I'm like, this is not for me. However, Chloe has always been, I think I told you this, Sue. I love the scent. It's so sweet and floral.
It's a beautiful combination of jasmine and
Yes. Oh.
tuberose and gardenia. And
I
those-
love how you know all the.
She
all
does.
that.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, because to me, it's so important to know what those notes are.
Uh-huh.
When I meet people and I say, how are you? What do you like? Well, I love a brand. They'll give me the brand name.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
but-
like saying, I love a drink. Well, I like Coca-Cola. So
Right.
what you need. And so what I do is I really study fragrances, and I know that rose is very different than gardenia and spicy.
Right.
oh my
Razzia.
God.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I kind of know those classic fragrances as well. But anyway, so I got the job as training director. I went
love it.
to and then I landed up going to all the stores conducting training
I
programs.
bet.
Mhm.
And
I met.
would really create a beautiful experience and an ambiance. I'd have lovely music playing, beautiful bouquets of flowers, lovely images of the brand of Chloe and Lagerfeld and Karl. And when people left the training room and the training presentation, they were so pumped, they were so psyched.
Love
Right.
that.
That sales went sky high.
Uh-huh.
So that was a very good feather in my cap. And after 2 years of traveling around America, they promoted me to color cosmetics. That's when I learned about, all girly girl stuff, which I loved.
Mhm.
And then to marketing, because I knew that marketing was where it was at.
hmm
And then Lancôme hired me as marketing director. I was there for 4 years
Wow.
on fragrance and men's skincare. I
What a
worked
legacy. My
on
God.
a fragrance called Magie Noire. It was really a classic fragrance, a beautiful chypre fragrance, but very green and not very American centric. It was much more European. So they said, well, Sue, fragrance is not a really big factor in our business, so we'll give you men's cosmetics as well. And I did men's skincare. And then I helped develop and launch the Trésor fragrance. And then 4 years later, I got a call from a headhunter to become executive vice president of Tiffany. And I did
Wow.
Oh,
Tiffany.
Wow. My
goodness.
God. And it seems it
Executive
all
vice
happened
president.
so
Wow.
fast,
Well, that happened over 12 years.
That's a lot. Look at all the places that you
Yeah.
were working with and what you did in that 12-year period to work your way up to Tiffany. I mean,
Well, then it gets better.
I thought you were doing pretty good up to that point.
Tim and I were very impressed by everything that we're hearing.
So I then started my own company because I had my daughter and I didn't want to be a work mom that neglected
Those
my daughter.
corporate jobs, by the way,
Yeah,
suck
right.
a lot of
Yeah.
hours out of you. It's a lot of
So
responsibility.
I started my company Centerprises, Scent and Enterprises.
I was
Yes.
going to
Enterprises,
ask you.
and was hired to be a global consultant for Burberry. I created Burberry fragrance, Trish McAvoy, Avon,
So you created
Lancaster,
the fragrance.
and marketing consulting, and everything was going swimmingly until 2008 happened, and all the consulting dried up.
Right.
So I said, "Self, what else do you do?" So by
Right.
this stage, I'd learned about fragrance.
And by the way, swimmingly, but she wasn't going drowningly. And 2008
Yes.
was drowningly for a lot of people. But once
Mhm.
again, an entrepreneur, you pulled yourself up and out.
And I opened up a custom fragrance boutique because by
Beautiful.
this stage I'd learned all about fragrance. I knew about bespoke, which was a term that most Americans didn't know about, all about customization. So I opened my boutique downtown in Tribeca called the Centarium.
Mhm.
And
I love
lo and
that,
behold,
right?
people found me. Jamie Foxx found me, Katie Holmes, Zendaya, many celebrities. And I started to do corporate events, team building events for big brands. And then guess what? 2020 happened.
Right.
Yep.
And the bottom falls out again.
And so I reinvented myself again and I wrote a book called
Mhm.
The Power of Perfume. And this time, what was really interesting was NBC wanted to do a story about the book. But the day before, they called me and they said, "Sue, there's a long hauler who has not been able to smell for 15 months. Do you think you can help her?"
Wow.
I said, "I don't know. I'll try." And I took her on a fragrance journey, which means going through all my different perfume blends
Mhm.
like I took you guys through. And I always get very choked up about this. And after the 14th one, she smelled and she said,
She could
"I
smell
smell
it.
something and it's beautiful." And she started to cry.
Wow.
And it was
wow.
so emotional. This woman had not been able to smell for 15 months.
Wow.
Anyway, I helped her. And then lo and behold, a lot of wonderful press came along. I've now helped about 200 people regain the sense of
That's
smell.
incredible.
from COVID.
Uh-huh.
And
Who would have known
right.
that this would be part of your journey? You could have never predicted this.
never predicted. But that's one thing about being an entrepreneur, and I call myself a centrepreneur.
Yes.
And just the idea of being able to be resilient and navigate things, and when things happen, just to be able to navigate the difficult waters. And
Mhm.
so the COVID thing, as terrible as it was for so many people, it accelerated the awareness of how important our sense of smell is.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And
Absolutely.
and then something very exciting. Then I found another place and I opened up a new boutique, which you came to.
It
which
was
is
just
charming.
beautiful.
Mhm.
It's funny because you were describing what your trainings were like.
Yeah.
Her boutique very much reflects that. You walk in, it's completely zen. There's beautiful pictures on the wall of flowers.
My mom's
You're
artwork.
amazing. Your
Mhm.
mother's artwork. There's something about your mother there. The scent, the color. It's a pale green.
It's pale. It's pink when you come
Yeah.
into the showroom, and then pale green.
So
and I love
so
the-
beautiful.
Mhm.
No, I do too, but you don't
different
see it
colors.
that often. I was like, from the minute I walked in, my gosh, what a unique experience.
Mhm.
And then the most exciting thing
Mhm.
is that I was approached by a company from Dubai
Ooh.
Mhm.
who contacted me, and they said, "Sue, we'd like to talk to you about." And I go through the thread of communication, and it looked like it was crypto. And I said, "No, I'm not interested in crypto. No, this is about
Not
you.
into
We want to talk
crypto.
about you." And my friend, now my dear friend and partner, said, "We want to talk about you. We think you can be the Joe Malone of America." I said very cheekily, I said, "Well, I want to be Sue Phillips of the world."
Yes.
The heck with Joe Malone.
Well, she's all right, but I'm very excited because there's a big initiative now to take me global, and that's
wonderful.
going to be outstanding.
Sue, I'm so excited.
I know
for
this
you.
is like
That so
amazing, and you
wonderful.
have me wondering because we're talking about scent here, and we've touched on scent in Europe. Dubai, I know it's very cosmopolitan,
Yes.
but
Mhm.
what about scent in the Middle East?
Well-
As opposed to here, and how it's used and what people respond to. I would be so curious.
I've discovered that every culture has their own fragrance olfactive preference,
Hmm.
just like food. So in America,
Interesting.
everybody loves fresh and clean. Everybody wants to be
Yeah, we do,
deodorized,
yeah.
fresh and clean, some version of citrus, some version of free. It's just the idea of, Americans deodorize themselves like crazy. It's fresh and it's clean.
Mhm.
South Americans love spicy.
Right.
Mhm.
Spicy.
Europeans love florals.
Uh-huh.
The British love lavender.
Yeah.
Indians love spicy, and the Middle East love oud. Oud is
What is
from
oud?
it's from the agar tree, AGAR.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's actually the berries are up in the agar tree, and the goats climb up the trees to get the agar
Oh my
berries.
goodness.
And it's a very pungent, beautiful, sensual wood.
It's.
woodsy
I was
kind of
going to say,
fragrance.
like, if
Uh-huh.
you could describe it for
Yes,
people that
yes.
are listening, it's
It's a
woodsy.
woodsy.
So, Tim, that might be a good one for you.
And different
Ooh.
than sandalwood. It's a little bit
Ah.
more pungent. And there's another fragrance called Bakur. So the fragrances in the Middle East are very different than fragrances in America.
Right.
And
Mhm.
what's so interesting is that, you know, we at my perfume boutique, I have an entire range of pretty much everything. So people from the Middle East will come and I'll show them the ouds and the shibas.
Mhm.
People from South America come, I show them the spicy and the amber, etc. So we have something for everybody. And you know, there's nothing better than when you get a compliment and people say, "What are you wearing? You smell wonderful." People sit up taller, they smile more
Mhm.
broadly, and it's very, very exciting to
Wow.
see that people are now realizing that they can have their own fragrance. You don't have to wear what everybody else
Right.
wears.
Mhm.
Well, it should be
Absolutely.
personalized. You know, it should
Right.
totally be what you're about.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, thank you
Yes.
everyone for tuning in to If These Walls Could Talk with your hosts, Wendy Stuart and Tym Moss, and our wonderful and fabulous guest, the one and only Sue Phillips, right here.
So there was a question I so wanted to ask you, and it came to me after I left your fragrance bar.
Mhm.
The question is, you know how they used to do people's colors and how they reflected their personalities. Is there any correlation between, like, I've been told I'm a spring fall. Are spring falls, a lot of spring falls, do they like floral scents, or is there a little bit of wood in there? Have you seen any correlation?
So I do see a correlation.
You do.
And I also look at it based on people's skin tones. So people who are light skinned and blonde, like you are, you know, your skin is much thinner than somebody who's a little bit deeper toned and having oilier skin.
Right.
So when you have a lighter skin tone, usually I find, and this is a generalization, but it's pretty much a good generalization, that you would love something very beautiful and floral, which is what you do.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
I'm attracted to it.
And a deeper fragrance like the woodsy and the spicy, and that would be too much for you.
Too much for me. Yeah.
And something like a floral, you could probably work with a little bit of floral, but still have
Mhm.
your woodsy and spicy.
Mhm.
Tim could work with a little bit of just
But
a little bit.
think
of
about
floral.
this, and I'm on a vigilant campaign right now. There is no such thing as a masculine ingredient or a feminine ingredient.
I like that. Right.
Whereas everything is, you know, gender neutral. Well, we don't think about food as being gender neutral. Food is
Mhm,
food. So
right.
you enjoy whatever food you like.
Right.
And the same thing is true with fragrance. You know, it was just a marketing term, fragrance pour homme, which is for men, pour homme or pour femme.
Right.
And it's a marketing term to sell more men's fragrances or women's fragrances. And of course, the cosmetic fragrance, the companies, everything was, you know, targeted to men or targeted to women. Well, now the whole trend is all unisex, or shall we say
Right.
gender
Mhm.
neutral.
Right.
Mhm.
And I
Gender
like to
neutral.
say it's just beautiful ingredients.
I love that.
Men
Absolutely.
can wear gorgeous ingredients, which could be floral, spicy,
Yes.
and citrusy. Women could wear
It's-
beautiful fragrances, which could be, you know, woodsy and spicy and some
Yes.
flowers. You don't have to limit yourself.
Absolutely. Well, that's kind of giving the genders permission
Exactly.
Right.
to just be.
To be
Mhm.
and be fragrance fluid.
Exactly.
I loved Old Spice. I know it's a cheap scent. Sue,
It's not.
but I did. I still like the Old Spice roll-on deodorant. I like, you know, I'm
It's
smelling.
actually
I like
very
the way it
interesting.
smells.
In my book, The Power of Perfume, I actually highlight the Old Spice.
Do you really?
Yes. Old Spice was actually originally a woman's fragrance.
Wow.
It was part of a potpourri mix.
I
And for
could see
some
that.
reason, it didn't go well. So guess what? They reimagined it, they
Yeah.
remarketed it, they repositioned it, and they had that sort of boat image.
Yeah.
Like, you know, men
Like
coming from the
a-
spicy islands, and
Right.
they're, you know,
Or a
explorers.
salty pirate.
Yeah,
or
Exactly.
salt, right.
something, yeah.
Exactly.
Salty
Captain of a
now.
And they called it Old Spice, and my father wore it, and
Did-
it was a
Mhm.
beautiful,
It's
beautiful
beautiful. It
fragrance.
is. It's thank
And
you.
isn't it interesting, your sense of smell, how a smell can take you back to
Oh
a
my
certain
God,
place
yeah.
and time, like very vividly.
Right.
Well, that's because our most powerful sense is our sense of smell, because the olfactory bulb ties directly to the limbic system. So whenever you smell something, it triggers a memory or an emotion. And, you know, it happens to me all the time. I can be walking down Fifth Avenue and suddenly the wind changes in spring or in fall.
You smells like spring,
and I
you'll
smell
say,
something,
yeah.
and it takes me right back to South Africa. It's just extraordinary,
Right.
because different aromas will trigger different memories. I mean, you know, that's why people say, you know, you go to the attic if you're selling a house or something, and you look into the attic and you see all those old memorabilia, a scarf, a book.
Yeah, the
and
triggers
you smell
the
something,
memory.
and it takes you back to a grandmother or a grandfather.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
The problem with electronics, you like you just said, the book. If you're reading a book on your Kindle or on your computer, you will never experience that.
Right,
People
right.
that still like the tangible of a book, like
Yes.
myself, I like the way the pages smell, the cover. It triggers things.
Right.
Now, you had mentioned the book. Tell us about
Yes.
your book and how people can find it.
So the book is called The Power of Perfume. It's on Amazon, thepowerofperfume.com. And it was published by Central Park South Publishers. I'm very excited because it's done really well. And it's a very easy read. There are a lot of just different chapters, lots of pictures of me with some of the celebrities I've worked with.
Oh, we love that.
Jamie Foxx, Katie Holmes, Zendaya, Susan Sarandon,
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Love him.
Now, did you create fragrances for each one of them, individual
Yes,
fragrances?
yes.
Oh, how
Yeah, I love
nice.
it.
They met with me. They came to meet with me.
How nice.
And they're all, you know, fabulous. You know, Jamie is such a sketch. He's so
He's
wonderful.
so fun.
It's so funny. I was pouring some champagne or prosecco, and I don't get fazed very easily by celebrities. But I don't know. That day, I think, you know, I was trying to do something, and I spilled the champagne. He said, "Don't worry, don't worry." He cleaned it up.
It's okay. Jamie Foxx made it.
It's like,
Okay, Tim, I would love to play the video
Yes,
now.
I was just about to do
Yeah.
that. Yes.
Okay, the video we're about to see, of course, this really blew me away. I had lost my smell and taste for 8 months, and I was in an international group using essential oils to help bring that back. Running into Sue and hearing what she's doing with the perfumes, it's incredible work. And she sent me this video, and it spoke to me, as I hope it does to you. There's a lot of people out there that lost their smell and taste due to COVID. It's something we have to deal with. And believe it or not, doctors do not know what to do. So yeah, let's look at the video.
I feel really happy. I was able to smell a bunch of different smells, and I really hadn't smelled that level of detail in 9 months. I was getting like a whiff of something if somebody smoked a cigarette on the street, or a general sweet smell, but it was really cool to be able to pick up on some of the individual notes and really understand kind of the different elements of fragrance.
And everyone should experience, even if they don't have
a nausea.
yeah, they should come.
Yes.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
You are too.
I'm really very happy. How are you feeling now, having gone through this and smelling so many?
Really good. Really, really good. I didn't think I could. The amount I smelled is wild to me. It's the most I've smelled in 6 months. It smells like beautiful.
Oh my God.
Thank you. You're welcome. That's great. So that's for you.
Now, typically, when you spray fragrance,
I'm really gonna cry.
good. Isn't that wonderful? We need an applause. Yes, you're making me cry.
I'm sorry.
So it was a very good experience. I felt like I smelled a lot of beautiful fragrances. I'm hoping this is get me back on the road to getting my smell and taste back from COVID, which I haven't had for about 5 months. And I tried everything from my doctors to steroids to everything that they recommended, and nothing helped. But I came in here today and I smelled a lot of beautiful fragrances, and I'm excited, and hopefully it'll help to get my taste and smell back.
Expecting to get all that out of it, but I think out of most of them, I got 4 that I can smell, and when you put them together, they smell good. Smell like a nice perfume that I can wear. So thank you.
So I came in with 0 taste or smell for about 6 months, and I just came in and we got through the first round, and 3/4 I'm like, oh, I can smell something. We just kept working our way through, and we kept going around and around, and by the end of this experience I was able to smell all of the scents.
That
Thank
young
you.
boy.
Hey,
Thank
one
you.
moment. Yes,
Thank
that
you.
was
I
wonderful.
love what you're doing. First of all, I love the whole concept of what you do, but the fact that you've taken this and you are recognizing how this plays out with COVID is thank you for what you're
Mhm.
contributing.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm so happy that through the passion that I have for fragrance, I've been actually able to help someone. And in fact, I'm so excited. A neuroscientist reached out to me, a really well-renowned and respected neuroscientist wrote to me and said, Sue, I'd like to write a book with you and co-author a book.
Wow.
That's so fabulous.
And that is very exciting because she comes with such expertise of neuroscience and me from the olfactory standpoint.
Uh-huh.
So we're putting that together. I just have to find the time to write my part, but that's very exciting that she wants to co-author a book with me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. Well, thank you everyone for tuning into If These Walls Could Talk with your hosts, Wendy Stuart and Tym Moss, and our wonderful and exceptional guest, the fabulous Sue Phillips right here.
Thank you.
Yes. Now, one thing that you mentioned when you were in South Africa, you're acting. You were a performer, and I'm glad to see that you were back into it. Correct?
It's amazing how things come full circle.
Yeah.
So I
Hold it
acted when
up.
I was in South Africa.
Well, I was going to
Okay.
let her talk first.
and came here. And then, of course, along the way, because my career took off, I didn't have time. But about 5 years ago, a friend of mine who was actually one of the CEOs of a big fragrance company, we used to have breakfast 3 or 4 times a year. And, catching up, Sue, what are you doing? John, what are you doing? And he said, I'm a playwright. I said, you're a playwright? And I said, well, I'm an actress. You're an actress?
But okay, I love the cosmic thing that's happening here.
So he invited me to join the group, which at that time we would meet every Tuesday night in person in Times Square at a very nice theater rehearsal room. And then, of course, the the playwrights would submit their plays. They would then cast the plays with the performers who were there. And everything went swimmingly until, of course, COVID. And now everything is done through Zoom. So we meet every Tuesday night on Zoom.
Oh, cool.
But this is one of the first times now we're actually meeting in person. So we've been rehearsing, and it's a small little theater off Broadway called Producers Row.
Yeah.
Producers Club.
Yes,
and
off 9th Avenue and 44th
Yes.
Street.
Yep.
And
Called Polly Plays 4. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly.
Uh-huh.
And Dirk Burrows is the playwright, and he's an exceptional playwright, has wonderful, wonderful plays. And this one that I'm in, in Lily, this is with Rosina Fernhoff, and she is an Obie Award winner. This is Mark Gordon, and he's an actor, and then Little Old Moi. And so there are 3 plays that Dirk has written, and it's really good, so much fun. And the play that I'm in, called Lily, I actually play Eve, and that's Adam.
Oh, that's funny.
Me, Eve.
Oh my God!
And this is Lily, and Lily is it's a deliciously evil, sinfully funny, marvelous comedy. So it
does sound funny. I love that you're playing Eve.
Oh, I can't wait. And that's March 23rd through the 26th.
Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday and Sunday. So Thursday is 1 night, 1 performance. Friday is 2. Saturday is 3, and Sunday is 2. So
okay.
Oh my
this
gosh.
week, so I'm back on stage.
Yeah, it is
so
amazing how everything seems to come full circle for you, because you just continually put yourself out there and you allow things to happen.
Yeah, you remain open.
Right, she's open to
possibilities
receive.
and,
Right.
Well, I think that's also because of my background. My mother was an incredible artist. I mean, her her
Oh,
art, her
yeah,
so
it's
calligraphy, her
beautiful.
watercolors. In fact, her website is www.2, the digit 2, marvelous, 4words.com. She was an exceptional artist, and she was also a fantastic homemaker and a beautiful cook and a baker, and
Did
you
it
know,
all.
and the flowers. She would make these gorgeous flowers. So I grew up in that culture, in that environment of art and culture and music. She was an opera singer. She actually played Violetta in La Traviata in South
Wow.
Africa.
That's where you get your
So that's where I
theatrical
get my
chops
theatrical-
from.
And then my dad was this real entrepreneurial businessman. And at 13 years old, he left school, and he landed up putting his 2 brothers through medical school in South Africa.
Wow.
Amazing.
And the 3rd brother, he helped in the business. And my dad was really an amazing entrepreneur. So my brother lives in San Diego. He's an entrepreneur. I'm a entrepreneur.
You're the perfect blend, though,
Yes,
of both
absolutely.
of them. And I will point out, it is not easy to come here from a foreign country and completely start with no green card, nothing.
Mhm.
I think that alone is so completely impressive.
Well, the good news is that I at least spoke English, although I spoke
Mhm.
English, not American
Oh, you
English.
Right.
speak a
And-
good English.
Yeah.
And
What do they
even-
call it? The King's English.
That's
you
it
know?
now. But even so, I would get into trouble a lot of times when I did my presentations and would say certain things and people would laugh and snicker because of the pronunciation. I would say, I can't even think about words now because I'm actually an American longer than I'm a South African.
Oh, yeah, at this
I
point,
just
right?
celebrated my, should I say the number?
Yeah.
My
Sure.
46th anniversary in America yesterday.
Yay! Oh, that's so
Yay.
great, and we have you on today.
Congratulations.
That's
So
fabulous.
I'm an American longer, far longer than I was a South African. That's your cue to say, Sue, did you come here at 2 years old?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yes.
Really?
I was speaking with this accent at 2 years old.
I'm sure.
Well, now tell everyone where they can find out more about you and about your fragrance boutique.
Okay, thank you. So my company is Centerprises. You can find me at www.centerprises.com. Cent and enterprises combined.
Perfect.
Centerprises.com and SuePhillips.com, which is with 2 L's. Sue at SuePhillips.com. My boutique is on the Upper East Side. It's a by appointment only boutique. You can go online and you can find me. You can find me on Google. I have 4 Instagram names. Don't ask me why I have 4.
And she is on social
But
media
I-
a lot.
Yes.
I'm at, because when I first started, people said, "Oh, here comes Scentfully Sue." So when Instagram started, I captured Scentfully Sue.
Wait, Scentfully
Sweet.
Sue? I love
Scentfully
that.
Sue, and I
Scentfully
have
Sue.
Just over 50,000 followers there.
Sweet.
Then Centerprises, I realized I had to capture that. So that's my
Mhm.
company name. So that's Centerprises. And then people said, Sue, you should really be the brand, Sue Phillips. But guess what? Sue Phillips was taken. So I'm now the real Sue Phillips.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I
on
love
Instagram.
that. Smart way to solve that.
And
really.
then when
Oh.
I had my perfume boutique, the Centarium, I called it the Centarium. But now I'm branding everything Sue Phillips. So my last one is Sue Phillips Fragrance. So you can find me all over social media.
She's
Instagram,
everywhere,
If you could do-
everything, all at once.
Sue Phillips and fragrance. You will probably
Yeah.
find her or one of the
Yeah.
links there.
Yeah, and
Now-
there was one thing I just want to ask you. Can people go to your beautiful shop and get gift certificates?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
even
that's
online.
important because and
Mhm.
online because what a unique gift. That was the
Well,
first
that's
thing.
what I wanted to kind
Yeah.
of touch on also before we sign off in this segment. Was it was just such a wonderful and unique experience
never-
going to your
yeah.
fragrance boutique. I had never experienced anything like that before. And the thing is, and again, it's not cheap, but it is correct. Nothing about her is cheap. But
It's
it
all
is so
very well
worth.
it.
I think
It is
I
very
think it's
well
yeah,
worth it.
money
Absolutely.
well spent to give
And
such a
it's-
unique gift.
And it is such an original, or like you say, original and unique. And the thing is we each walked out with our own scent that we created. Mine is called Divinity.
And mine is called
Inspiration.
Ethereal.
Ethereal.
Yes.
Thank you. Mine is called Ethereal. But it's
And
the
it-
uniqueness of being able to do this. And while we're talking, I'm thinking, your friends get married, they have everything. What a
Mhm.
great
Right.
thing as a wedding
Exactly.
gift to give the husband and the wife the Sue Phillips experience.
Absolutely.
And people can actually, now, if there is a budget issue, because to meet with me, It takes about an hour to an hour and a half.
Right.
I give you a scent personality quiz, which you can actually
Right.
take online
Yeah.
on the different websites. And then we evaluate the scent quiz, and then I take on the fragrance journey. But for those of you who can't come to New York or want to something a little bit different, go online, take the scent quiz, and you can actually buy the fragrance that I will see the results and send it to you for just under $200, and
It's a
you'll
great
receive
gift.
a beautiful fragrance in the mail.
Right.
That's
And
wonderful.
the packaging.
And it's yours.
And
It's
the
your
packaging
own.
is gorgeous as
Absolutely
well.
gorgeous. So you have this,
It's
and
refillable.
you turn it,
Yes.
and it pops up.
Yeah.
And this is actually the small size. We have larger sizes too.
Mm-hmm.
Refillable, recyclable, portable. I feel sustainability is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, it kills me that people have beautiful bottles and then the bottles have to be dismissed or thrown away because they can't be refilled. But, you know, I think that perfume bottles are beautiful and can be little sculptures and should be used.
Totally.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I have a lovely array of perfume bottles in my boutique. And, you know, just going to different perfume museums and you see the magnificent perfume at the Perfume Passage in Chicago. And then my friend Gupta has a wonderful perfume museum in New Jersey. So I support the arts, and fragrance bottles are really beautiful.
I agree.
pieces of art.
Absolutely.
And there's people
Absolutely.
like me. I think I told you I have antique orange blossom from
Yes.
Florida. I still there's nothing left in it,
Right.
but you can still smell it.
Well, Sue Phillips, thank you so very
Thank
much
you.
for
Thank
stopping
you
by
so
and
much.
sharing
Thank
all of
you.
your insights with us. We do appreciate that. And again, go to SuePhillips.com to find out more about Sue, about
Fragrance.
Enterprises.
Enterprises,
Enterprises.
and all of her other endeavors that
And
she
you
has.
can buy her book, The Power of Perfume,
Absolutely.
on Amazon.
Yes, thank you very,
Thank you
very
so
much
much for having me, and thank you
Yay.
everybody for
Thank
watching
you.
and your comments. And happy fragrant Wednesday, happy
Yes.
fragrant life, and be fragrant, be
Yes.
happy, and
Yes.
reflect who you are.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now that concludes
This is just the
the
first part, yeah.
broadcast, the 45-minute broadcast. So now we just get to sit back, relax, and chat for a few more
Okay.
minutes.
And we talk about the comments too.
So
I
yeah,
think.
we've
We
got
have
we've
bunch
got
of
quite a
So
few
now I can-
comments.
Which, yes,
here.
glasses time so we can
Okay,
see the
good.
comments.
Let me see.
Wow.
Sabine, marketing.
I was there in spirit. Sabine.
Yeah.
Yes, she
She's-
says
hi,
love
she's
him, love you.
wonderful. Hi,
She's-
Teresa Sabine. Thank you for tuning
And
in.
let me see here. Where are we?
Victor Santiago. Hey, Victor, thank you
Victor
for watching our
Says
show.
good morning.
Uh.
Elizabeth Marcano. Hi, Tim, Wendy.
Hi,
home
Elizabeth.
recovering. Okay. Victor Santiago.
Can they see us?
Yes,
Yes,
everybody
yes,
can
they
see
can
us.
see us.
And there is
Hannah Q.
my choreographer friend, and she's doing a show this Friday night, and I'm
Hannah-
going to be helping. She's an amazing choreographer.
Hannah Q.
She wants to know what scent you're wearing today.
What scent I'm wearing?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
I'm wearing the fragrance that I created for the Valentine's Day event because it's gorgeous. It's so complex, but it's so beautiful, and I get compliments on it. So I'm still wearing that.
Mhm.
And it's got florals in it.
It has citrus and green. That was the first course.
Wow.
Then it has
first course.
woodsy and chypre. Then it has a spicy and amber, and then it has the rose floral because of the rose petals, the fruity, and the vanilla. It's
Oh.
a gorgeous fragrance.
Ooh. Good enough to eat.
Aaron earned an iron. Says, have you ever been with a younger man in their late 20s?
Thank you so
no,
much for your
but-
comment.
But are you offering? Alwyn is my friend from Dubai. Hello, Alwyn.
Oh,
Hi,
hello,
Alwyn.
Alwyn.
I'm so happy to see you.
Thank you for
And he
tuning
says,
in.
Way to go, Sue.
woohoo, love it, way to go, Sue.
Oh, love it.
Alwyn is an amazing man, and actually, he was the one who brought me to Dubai. So
Nice. Oh,
mwah.
wonderful. Hannah Q also says, I remember Magi Noir.
oh, Magie Noir.
You
Yes,
do.
that
Noir.
was a beautiful fragrance.
Uh-huh.
Congratulations, Sue. That's so nice.
Oh,
These
let
comments
me
are
see.
fabulous.
Yeah.
Yes. Brenna Armstrong, hello, Tim and Wendy.
Hi.
Got you on live. Me and my husband lost ours over a year. I'm guessing scent.
Yes.
A year. Finally got it back 6 months ago.
See,
Oh,
we
I'm
have
so
to
happy
be.
about
Thank you
that.
for watching this important program.
Yes.
We have to address this.
DSD says exciting.
Thank you.
And says what a great idea. Let me see. I love the idea of doing your own custom scent. It
Mhm.
is. It's so unique and just so
Yes.
wonderful.
Oh, and then where do we
Ed-
go to do the custom scents?
Yes.
Yes, we'll go to SuePhillips.com, Centerprises.com, and you can actually make an appointment with me. All the information is online. You can
Yeah.
contact me. There's Ed.
No,
I see
Ed. Yes, Ed
Hi,
Jimenez
Ed. Ed is a
says hi,
friend.
Sue.
There's Alwyn. I love
Alan
you
says
too.
love you, Sue. Waiting to see you again
Yes,
very
very
soon.
Very soon, right? You're going to Dubai soon.
I hope so.
Ed
Yes.
says, "I love Sue. Marry me." Heart.
So far, we've had someone throwing themselves at you. Someone
And,
wants to
yeah.
marry you. I mean,
mean-
she comes. She doesn't even need to go to a dating service. She could come here on If These Walls Could Talk and
Well-
meet someone.
Well, you know,
Maybe we should
this-
market that.
this finger is free. There's no ring
Yeah.
on this finger.
She has a free finger
There is
there.
a big ring on the other
So
one.
This
so-
is a big ring, but I don't see a diamond on this one.
But she can imagine what it
But I
looks
have
like.
diamonds on this one. Let's see
And
that
also, Elwyn says, "We are gonna rock."
Thank
Sue
you.
Phillips of the world.
Yeah, love it.
DSD says, "Do we need to go to New York to do the custom scent? Do they
Yeah.
need to come here to do it?"
To meet with me in New York, you have to come to the. But if you want to do the fragrance journey, we can meet with you on Zoom. I can send you my scent kit on Zoom via Zoom. Ooh, I can
that's
send you my
smart.
scent kit,
Yeah.
which you'll receive in the mail, and then we set up a Zoom session. So we meet on Zoom. You'll have the fragrance kit, and then once we go through the whole consultation, and I know what fragrance blends you like, then I will send you your custom fragrance. So we do it virtually, we do it in reality, we do it in person.
It's
That is
great.
a wonderful
Right.
offering
I
Yes.
love
to
what
be
you're
able to
offering
offer
to
all of
people.
that. Yeah.
Well, you know, what happened is during the pandemic, when people couldn't travel and people couldn't
Right.
come to New York, you know, I have all my beautiful perfume blends. And so I created the kit. And I
Smart.
just thought that was such a good way to really help people understand, explore the magic of
Exactly.
fragrance, and
Mhm.
also to practice. So, you know, after the consultation, they have the fragrance kit and they're able to practice.
Great.
Well, I
with
must say
smelling.
that your father did a very good job of instilling entrepreneurship
Yeah.
in you, because you
Yeah,
you
just-
certainly know, you almost innately know what is needed to set up a successful business.
I have to tell you a funny story. When I was at Elizabeth Arden and I was going in training, you know, the training. So my boss at the time got so mad at me. And he said in the most disdainful way, "Sue, you're such an entrepreneur."
He was actually threatened by it, is what you
swear, I
said.
swear. And I thought, oh my God, I'm such an entrepreneur. It's so terrible.
Yeah.
That's so awful. I'm an
And
entrepreneur.
guess what? I totally embrace it. Yes, I'm an
Yes,
entrepreneur and I am a
yes.
entrepreneur, whoever you were. And your name shall be nameless, but I remember who you are.
And you know what? I'm sure he has
wonderful.
followed your career
I
since
think
then.
they all have.
I'm sure.
They all have.
And really,
Now-
kudos to you for everything you've done since the pandemic. It's just brilliant. Really.
Now I
Thank
want to find out, where did you get your incredible sense of style?
I think from my mother,
Mm-hmm.
you know, look, I'm tall and I'm 5'8",
Mhm.
5'8" and a half. And my mother was the most gorgeous, beautiful, elegant. You mean, look her up, Grace Phillips on that www.
Opera singer.
Mhm.
Opera singer.
And so I'm tall, and I never felt comfortable. You know, even when all my friends were so short, and I always towered over them. So I made a statement wherever I went, and so I knew that I couldn't do sort of flashy things because that
Mhm.
wasn't who I was, and I couldn't do very outlandish things because that wouldn't suit me. So I had to go with classic. So I dress in a very classic way,
Absolutely.
which
Yeah.
also translates to elegant,
Mhm.
which translates to
Sophisticated.
Sophisticated,
Yeah. Yeah.
and even when I'm in jeans, people say, "Sue, you're so elegant."
Mhm.
And so now I've just embraced it. I mean, you know, I'm in leggings and I have this belt. Actually, I bought
It's
this
fabulous.
blouse, which I happen to like. I bought this blouse in Dubai because
It's beautiful.
it's the second
Love
time
that.
I worn it. And I just
Uh-huh.
have my Karl Lagerfeld jacket. Usually I have Chanel, but, and all my Chanel pearls.
And this is Chanel.
This is Chanel.
Uh-huh.
This is Chanel with the CCs.
Yes.
You know, while we're talking, I can
And
see
this
an
is
offshoot.
Tiffany. These are my Tiffany
Ooh.
earrings.
I can see an offshoot of
Fabulous.
everything that you're doing with your scent to the Sue Phillips style. where you
Oh,
offer
yes.
the whole styling thing for people.
Actually, my friend Jose,
Oh, who we met,
who's
yeah.
amazing. Jose is an influencer
Oh,
from
yes.
Portugal.
Uh-huh.
But when I was at Elizabeth Arden, I also used to do these image updates, the dress for
Totally.
success
Yeah.
for the men, especially with the Lagerfeld. So Lagerfeld for men was a line of men's treatment products, and I had to teach them how to put on, beard softener, conditioning cleanser, the moisturizer,
Tim, do you do all of that?
even bronzer. I was one of the first women who actually put bronzer on men's African skin, because when African skin gets very dark, or gets very dry, it gets very gray. And so there I was in Macy's and Marshall Fields and applying the bronzer to men's dark skin, and they loved it because it brought back the luster and the shine.
I love it.
So I did image updates, and I do think that a course in etiquette, elegance, dressing would be great. I would love to have a line of Sue Phillips fragrance, Sue Phillips skincare, Sue Phillips accessories.
Well, I see it all
I mean,
for
the
you.
world is Sue Phillips.
I see all of that too.
Yeah.
All of that,
And it
most
could all
definitely.
happen after Dubai. That's what I think.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I'm getting. So
Now, would you say, like, for say someone who might be on more of a budget, would it be better to have less expensive accessories, or maybe a more expensive, say like what, I can't think of what that's called, a brooch.
So when I first came to America, I think I read somewhere from one amazing, at the time, now we call it influencers, at the time we called them, socialite or a celebrity. And the French are renowned for this. The French would rather have one exquisite outfit,
one great
high
outfit,
quality, beautiful design, great quality, than have a bunch of, cheap stuff.
Right.
Because the quality will last. And when you put on something that has quality, you feel good. So, I mean, you can't wear the same thing all the time. So you do have to have a variety. But instead of spending, money on 50 outfits, spend money on maybe 5 or 10
really
outfits.
good one, really good
Like
ones,
you were saying, that
Right.
the Lagerfeld, the jacket, that is
Yeah,
a
well,
quality.
never goes
that
out.
is a
It never
quality.
goes out of style.
Mhm.
Chanel
And Chanel,
never
I
goes
mean-
out of style. These are classic
And the thing
bodies.
is they will last years.
Yeah.
They do.
I mean, I have a Chanel red jacket, which I wear all the time, which I was going to wear today. And
Oh,
I said,
yeah.
no, I should really.
Well, you look
always-
beautiful.
This was-
You
exactly, this
always
is
look
perfect.
beautiful
Thank
and
you.
elegant,
Thank
and well
appreciate
put
that.
together.
Thank you. My mother would be very proud.
Absolutely. Well, I want
Let's
you
see
to
who
tell
else
everybody
over there.
about your show one more time, please.
So those of you who are in New York, if you
She
want
does it
to,
all.
if you want to, here you can actually scan the QR
Yeah, you have the
code.
QR code scan.
You can scan the QR code. I don't know if it'll work this way.
Oh,
But-
that's a good point. I wonder
Probably.
if they
I
do. You think
should,
they
yeah.
work that way, Tim, on
Yeah,
on the
it should.
screen?
But it's actually, I think it's on YouTube too. No, excuse me, it's on Eventbrite. You can go to Eventbrite.
And they can order the tickets.
And you can go to the
Polly
Producers Club
Plays.
and Polly Plays 4. And I don't know if we can put the link over here on this. Can we put the link up here?
Yeah, can we type it in? I think we can type it.
Chauncey
I'll
probably
send
could.
it to you. I can send it to you, Chauncey.
What is the link?
Hold on, I will tell you. Yeah, can I send this to Chauncey?
So in the comments,
Yeah.
it
Just
will be,
I usually what I do is I post it in the
is
comments.
it long?
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of long.
Yes. Shall I send it to Chauncey?
Yes,
How do I do
forward
that?
it to him. Maybe he can get it online there.
Do you have the email?
Oh, let me see.
All right. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Here we go.
Well, continue
It is.
talking. Can you send it to
Yeah.
yes, Tim.
Yeah, this is very high tech for us. We are trying to send a link to Chauncey so he can post it, so you can order tickets for Sue's show.
Okay.
It's a very small, rinky-dink
I
theater.
haven't got that yet.
Here it
On-
is. I have the I
Yes,
have it.
on in Manhattan on Producers Row, and it's on 44th and 9th Avenue.
It's 358 West 44th
Yes.
Street, the Tony White Theater, the Producers Club right on Theater Row there. I know that street. It's great.
Yes.
And you can get dinner there, make a whole evening of it. Sue, what time does the show?
So 7
Open.
o'clock on Thursday, the 23rd.
Okay.
It's 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock on Friday, the 24th.
You have 2 shows.
And 3 shows on Saturday. I'm a glutton for
Chauncey,
punishment.
How does she do
Chauncey,
it?
I just emailed you.
2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and 8 o'clock on Saturday, and then 2 shows on Sunday. And it's amazing how this worked out because I was actually supposed to be in Dubai.
Mhm.
I remember you
last
said,
week
Yeah, you were
of
saying you-
March. And actually, my daughter went to Dubai on the 15th and the 17th. And she said, Mom, do you think you can join me? And I was really trying to get there, but it just didn't work out. So because it didn't work out, I was free. My calendar was totally free.
Here
so
we are.
here I am. I was able to.
Perfect.
Now, does your daughter work with you?
No.
Okay.
No.
Does she have interest in fragrance at all?
No, my
No.
daughter's an amazing young woman. She was in the Peace Corps for 2 years and doing anti-human trafficking.
Oh my God,
And
I love
then-
her already.
And
Wow.
then she went to, she got a Fulbright scholarship and she went to Bucharest. And then she landed up in Spain. And along the way, she landed up getting married and she lives in Germany now.
Mm,
Wow.
nice.
And she travels the world.
Now the link for tickets for Sue Phillips show is in the comments section.
Yes.
So if you go to the comments section down at the bottom, it's
Yep.
right there.
Yes.
Cool.
Thank you, Chauncey.
Thank
Great. Thank you.
you. Let's see who are some of these other. So there's Alia. There's Alia Kim. Thank you.
You have more people
And
that
there's
tuned in.
Ed. Oh, nice. How do we make this go?
Isn't
up and
that
down?
great?
Oh yeah.
I don't have the gift for making it
This
go up
way.
and down. Tim has the magic touch. I
Thank you
can't
all
even-
for
That's-
thank you all
Oh,
for
yeah.
watching, and thank you all for your comments, and thank you for my friends for coming in from all over the world, from Dubai,
I see that,
from
right?
Atlanta, from New York, from all over, and I'm so happy
Thank you.
that you came in.
DSD says that's so neat. I am sensitive to strong scents, but natural scents don't seem to bother me. Is there something for me looking for a cologne?
Yes.
Ah.
So DSD, the reason, that's a really good point. I will tell you that within the last 7 to maybe 8 years, there are so many fragrances that give people headaches and allergies.
Mm.
Yes,
No.
there are
Mhm.
people that are allergic to it.
I will tell you honestly and truly that my 18 fragrances are very high quality. They have never given anybody headaches and allergies. I think the reason that so many fragrances are going in that route and direction is because certain ingredients have been banned, certain ingredients have been discontinued, and there are certain regulations that the FDA and the IFRA, all these regulatory bodies are saying, you can't do this and you can't do that, and we're banning ingredients. And so they banned the really beautiful. I mean, I don't think a Chypre has ever killed anybody. They're still selling peanuts.
Wow.
They still sell peanuts, and peanuts give people allergies.
Wow.
But, so
Wow.
I have an issue with that. But
Of course.
if you're interested, DSD, go online. If you're in New York, come and make an appointment to meet me. If not, go online, take the scent quiz. I'll evaluate your results and I'll make a fragrance for you.
Love it.
And one of the things that I must point out is that you said looking for a cologne, which is wonderful. So what is the difference between perfume, eau de parfum, eau de toilette, and eau de cologne? It's truly, honestly, just the concentration. So if you have a
Oh,
bottle
interesting.
of perfume, and the actual perfume ingredients usually are about up to 30%. That's sort of the normal percentage of fragrance in a perfume. The more you dilute it with alcohol and denatured alcohol and water and these other diluents, you lower the concentration, so it becomes eau de parfum. Then you lower it more to eau de toilette. And the lightest form of fragrance is eau de cologne or cologne. And cologne has now been sort of assumed to be something for men.
Men.
Right. I would have
Perfume
thought
for
that.
women.
Right.
But it's the same ingredients. It's just a lighter
Interesting.
concentration.
Now, the thing that I found so fascinating when we went for your consultation was, because she would say, "Oh, here, to try this or smell
Yeah, we were
this,"
smelling.
and I would
all
smell
of
one
them.
on a tab, and then she'd hand another. Smell this, okay, that's another different scent, and try this. It goes, now put the 3 together, and you put the 3 together, and it's a completely different
Right.
different fragrance,
And it becomes
was
layer.
amazing,
It becomes
just-
layers of scent
Yes,
when you do
yes.
that. It's
It
beautiful.
was I never would have thought of that. It's fantastic. So the possibilities are endless.
Well, the reason that we use blotter strips, in fact, I even have, if you want, we can show the video of you guys at my studio the other day, and maybe Chauncey can put it on if you would like, just to show the fragrances. But the reason that we use blotter strips is for that very reason, to help to show people.
Yeah, there we go. There's Tim with his blotter strip.
There's what there are two together.
And what the blotter strip does, she puts the scent on the strip, and then you smell, and you like the mossy ones that Tim had. I didn't like at all.
You which one?
The mossy one was not for me.
No, because that's very heavy, and
I just didn't respond to it.
Let's see.
Well, let me see. I'm not sure if we can play it on here, or if we can get it transferred or not.
To Chauncey. Send it to you, to your email.
Let me see. Well, let me send it to.
So that's the reason that fragrance, and the reason we use fragrance strips is to really evaluate the fragrance in its pure form. If I put it on my wrist and I have people smelling my wrist,
it's not downloading.
It lands up with my body chemistry. So blotter strips are the most
and that was going to
natural way.
be, you know what? Thank you for bringing up body chemistry.
Yeah, we're not
we
able
would
to
all
do
react
all
differently.
Just do it with the videos. I mean, the pictures, not the video, because it won't do the video and the
So if you have 3 people that
what I might do
all
is,
might like the same
how do I go
fragrance,
back? I'm sorry.
won't it
yeah.
smell different on each of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you can see.
That's Tim,
that
right?
is
That's
me.
just so funny.
That's me.
Trying the
with
different scents.
Yes. And then I'll let you pick them out.
Yeah,
and we'll,
we can show a couple of pictures.
Yeah.
And where's Wendy?
Yeah.
Oh, there we are.
Look how
That was
happy
the
we
two of
are
us. We were
picking,
so thrilled.
picking out our scents. There we
And,
go.
This was really great. This is Wendy.
Yes.
Yeah. It was very intense. I was really concentrating. Fun.
I don't know if I have self-service here.
Oh, that is so nice.
Oh,
there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I do think
Oh, it's gone off. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's buffering.
Yeah.
But that was just an example of
what our
fragrance at her
experience,
fragrance
what our-
boutique.
Thanth you, DSD. Your mother will be very proud of you. How nice. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
Well-
Thank you.
Oh, there was one here. Vincenzo
Oh,
Corvillano
Vincenzo.
says, "I'm going to Sue's show tomorrow. I love her. I can't wait."
Thank you.
Oh my
Grazie,
God.
cara. Thank
Eris-
you,
Eris-
Vincenzo.
Aris
Siago
sending
is a
love to
good
all of
friend of
us.
ours.
Yep. And Gio
He
Michaels.
says, "Sending love to you all."
Hi,
And
Aris.
Gio Michaels
Love
from
Gio,
Philadelphia
yeah.
is saying fascinating.
Yeah.
And
It
very
really is
fascinating.
fascinating. I got some texts in while this was going on. This is a fascinating
Mhm,
topic.
absolutely.
I'm so happy and delighted to be here on your turf. You came to mine, and I'm so happy that you did this. I'm honored, Wendy.
Oh
and
my God, we
Tim.
just
Thank
had
you so
a
much.
great,
Absolutely.
really
we're
great
so grateful
time.
that you came
Great
on
to
our
see
show.
you.
This is
And
wonderful.
Thank you, Chauncey,
Yeah.
for your technical expertise.
And thank you, everybody who tuned in
And
today.
Be sure to go to Sue Phillips with 2 L's
Yep.
.com.
Yep.
Mhm.
Thank you, everybody, for your comments. Thank you for your support, and thank you for watching and listening.
Absolutely.
And here's to
Thank
fabulous
you.
scents ahead.
Exactly.
Bye-bye.
Yes.